In the heart of Paris stands the Louvre Museum, a symbol of art, history, and human achievement. For centuries, it was considered unbreakable, the safest museum on Earth. But on an ordinary morning in October 2025, that illusion was shattered. This is the story of how 4 men robbed the Louvre in broad daylight and escaped in just 8 minutes. Welcome to FearCast. It was the morning of October 19th, 2025. Like any other day, the Louvre opened its doors at exactly 8 a.m. Guards took their positions. Tourists from every corner of the world walked in, phones in and ready to capture the beauty of history. 30 minutes later, 8:30 a.m., the museum was fully awake. But outside, near the side that faces the River Seine, something unusual was happening. A white truck slowly approached the museum wall. At first glance, it looked harmless. A normal service vehicle used to lift furniture to upper floors. But this time, there was no furniture inside. There were 4 men, all wearing orange and yellow safety vests, just like construction workers. Their faces were hidden under black balaclavas. They looked official enough to blend in, but what they were about to do would stun the entire world. 2 of the men stayed below. The other 2 extended a mechanical lift up toward the first floor balcony, the one that led directly to the Gallery of Apollo. That gallery isn't just any room. It's where the French crown jewels are displayed: tiaras, diamonds, and relics from emperors and queens. For France, it's not just art, it's identity. But standing between the thieves and the treasure was a thick, bulletproof glass wall. Without hesitation, one of them pulled out an industrial disc cutter. Sparks flew. The sound echoed through the quiet streets of Paris. Within seconds, the glass cracked open, and the men slipped inside. At that moment, the Louvre's silent alarm was triggered. Guards saw movement on the gallery cameras, but before they could react, the robbers threatened them with power tools, forcing everyone back. Panic spread like wildfire. Tourists screamed. Guards rushed to clear the rooms as alarms blared across the museum. An eyewitness later told French media, "It was total chaos. People didn't understand what was happening. We thought it was a terror attack." While the museum descended into confusion, the thieves moved with military precision. They knew exactly where to go. They smashed open display cases, one after another. In less than 2 minutes, they collected 9 royal artifacts, each worth millions. Then, just as quickly as they entered, they escaped through the same glass hole they'd cut. Down the lift, onto 2 waiting scooters below. At 8:38 a.m. they were gone. Vanished into the Paris streets. The entire robbery, from the truck parking to the getaway, took only 8 minutes. Inside the museum, they spent barely 4. Before leaving, they tried to set the truck on fire to destroy evidence, but one brave museum employee intervened, stopping them just in time. Police arrived minutes later, but by then, the thieves were already far away, crossing the River Seine and disappearing into the Périphérique, Paris's ring road. A daylit robbery, pulled off with near-perfect timing. For France, it was a moment of humiliation. The world's most famous museum robbed like a movie scene. When the chaos settled and curators counted the losses, France went into mourning. The stolen artifacts weren't just jewelry. They were part of France's royal bloodline treasures that told the story of empires. According to the Ministry of Culture, the thieves stole 8 priceless royal pieces, but one fell during the escape. That piece was a crown of Empress Eugenie, wife of Napoleon III. Created in 1855, the crown was designed specifically for her coronation. As the thieves tried to pull it through the glass hole, it got stuck. In the struggle, it was damaged and finally fell onto the street below. The remaining 8 items vanished completely. Among them were Empress Eugenie S. Daimon, tiara and brooch, Empress Marie-Louise S. Emerald, necklace and earrings, Queen Maria Amelia's sapphire set, and a rare reliquary brooch, believed to hold holy relics. Each of these 19th century pieces contained hundreds of diamonds, emeralds, and sapphires worth an estimated $2 million in materials alone. But their historical value? Absolutely priceless. The director of the Louvre later said, "We can repair the crown, but what was stolen, those memories, that heritage, can never be replaced." But one question remained. How could this happen inside the most protected museum in the world? As investigators combed through the evidence, shocking details emerged. According to French media, in the area where the robbery took place, 1 out of every 3 rooms had no CCTV coverage. Yes, in the Louvre Museum, the largest and most visited museum on Earth, even the outdoor cameras didn't fully cover the balcony entry point. And that wasn't the only failure. The balcony alarm system, the one closest to the thieves, had been broken for days. If it had been working, security would have caught them before they even entered. The museum's director publicly accepted responsibility and offered her resignation, but the government refused it. Still, the embarrassment was massive. France had to face the fact that its national treasure had been robbed. From the inside out, Baptiste Wasenti. The first time the Louvre had been humiliated. In 1911, an employee named Vincenzo Peruggia stole Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. He simply took it off the wall, hid it under his coat, and walked out. The painting vanished for 2 years before being found in Italy. Ironically, the theft made Mona Lisa the most famous painting in the world. In 1976, thieves broke a window and stole King Charles X's royal sword, a masterpiece of craftsmanship. It has never been recovered. In 1998, a painting was stolen in broad daylight and vanished forever. And now, in 2025, history repeated itself. By October 25th, French police had arrested 2 suspects linked to the heist. Over 150 DNA samples were collected from helmets, gloves, and the burned truck. One of the suspects already had a criminal record for gold theft. Police believe the group was part of a larger network, possibly working under a private collector or international smuggling ring. Authorities haven't confirmed whether the stolen jewelry has been found, but they've made one thing clear. This was a professional, highly organized operation. As of now, more than 100 investigators are still working the case. The Gallery of Apollo remains closed, sealed off like a crime scene. The Louvre robbery of 2025 wasn't just a theft. It was a reminder. Even the strongest walls can be breached. Even the most guarded treasures can vanish. For France, the loss wasn't measured in gold or diamonds, but in history. And as the investigation continues, one question still haunts the city of Paris. Did the thieves act alone, or were they just pawns in a much bigger game? Because sometimes, the real crime isn't what's stolen, but what's hidden. This is FearCast. If you enjoyed this story, like, share, and subscribe for more true documentary stories from around the world. Until next time, stay curious and stay alert.